Today we make a Trader Vic cocktail that has been lost to time. This is a Pacifica Punch, and it's a recipe that you won't find in any Trader Vic cocktail books, any other online recipe resources, or any book in or out of print. And while I just said that this recipe was lost to time, that phrase or thinking, it's a little generous here because it was not technically lost to time because it's right here. It's in a magazine that a lot of people had, including the person that sold this magazine to me. So less lost to time and more just sitting here waiting for someone to find it. The Pacifica Punch recipe appears to have only shown up in one place, which is the April 1952 issue of House and Garden magazine, which highlighted a new trend in living called Pacifica. This Pacifica trend was not accidental, and it was not loosely defined either. It was created by Harry Jackson of Oakland, California, and formally launched in 1951 as a coordinated design program. Jackson had spent significant time in Japan and across the Pacific during World War II. Now, drawing from Japanese architecture, Polynesian and Micronesian design, and broader Pacific Rim influences, he developed what he called the Pacifica concept, a styling theme built around simplicity, natural materials, informality, and livability. And in March of 1951, he secured approval from the California Home Fashion Group to produce and market Pacifica as an organized program. Then in April 1952, House and Garden featured it on its cover and throughout the entire issue, and then Life magazine featured a Pacifica home. Now, Pacifica emphasized low furniture profiles, integration with indoor-outdoor living, and materials like teak, walnut, mahogany, rattan, and grass matting. It rejected the sterile modernism and instead promoted warmth, texture, and functional comfort. By the mid-1950s, Pacifica had expanded nationwide. It earned industry awards and influenced retail strategy as much as design. Now, no nationwide trend featuring elements of the Pacific would be complete without its very own cocktail. In this case, a punch made by Trader Vic. Now, I came across this recipe on accident. I believe I was looking for pictures of vintage Wray and Nephew rum, and I came across this picture. Now, this picture also contains what I believe to be a bottle of French Garnier Orgeat. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it. And as of right now, I think that this is the oldest picture of this bottle of Orgeat that I could find in years of looking. And this is the same Orgeat used in the first Mai Tai, which was created 8 years prior to this magazine being printed. Now, interestingly enough, this Wray and Nephew Dagger rum, as well as Orgeat, is not in the actual Pacifica Punch. I don't actually know why these pictures are in this magazine. Now, the full recipe is a large format punch, calling for whole oranges, lemons, grapefruits, bananas, passion fruit, brown sugar, as well as 10 bottles of wine. Yeah, 10 bottles of wine and 7 bottles of rum. And you need to start making it the day before serving it. Now, you could try this, and it might work out just fine, but I figured I would revise this into something that's more manageable, a single serving cocktail, and rearrange some of the things to make something that I find just works better and is easy for us all to get our hands on as far as the ingredients go. But if you want to take on the recipe that calls for 10 bottles of wine and 7 bottles of rum, I'll leave that full recipe in the description. So let's make my version of Trader Vic's Pacifica Punch. I will start with 1 ounce of orange juice, half an ounce of lemon juice, half an ounce of grapefruit juice, quarter ounce of a demerara syrup, half an ounce of passion fruit syrup, half an ounce of a banana liqueur. Then we need 3/4 ounces of a gold rum. I'll be using Angostura 7 for this, which is aged more than most gold rums. And 3/4 ounces of a dark rum. I'm using a Myers single barrel rum. And then 1 ounce of a drier white wine. you go. My take on Trader Vic's Pacifica Punch. Let's try it. Cheers. This leans a touch sweet. It's not too sweet. It will depend on the syrups you use as well as the white wine you use. But to pack so much in here, for instance, I didn't want to use brown sugar. I didn't want to have you all make a brown sugar syrup. So I used demerara syrup instead, a small amount, passion fruit sweetness, banana sweetness. Then we have orange juice and lemon juice, and grapefruit juice have some sweetness. So that lean sweet. So if you like drier cocktails, maybe knock back the passion fruit, maybe use less demerara, or maybe skip the demerara syrup altogether. The amount of passion fruit in here with the juices, though, does help bring, I think, the right level of acidity. And then you're also getting acidity, from your lemon juice and from your grapefruit juice, obviously. The white wine with the combination of rums, I think, gets a nice ABV of the overall cocktail. We use 1.5 ounces of rum and then a full ounce of the white wine. So that's why there's not like a full 2 ounces of rum in here. The banana comes through, even though it's subtle. And banana liqueurs are not something Trader Vic really used. And in this instance, in this recipe, he didn't use a banana liqueur, he used bananas. But this punch recipe was just such a pain in the ass to put together. That's the whole purpose of doing something a little bit different, smaller format, single serving punch. What's cool about this is I did find this magazine online, but I wanted to get the high resolution image of that bottle of orgeat. So I ended up waiting a while, like probably a few months, looking online to find someone that was selling this. And I believe I bought the wrong one first, the wrong month. And then I found the right month and got it. And this is like probably 2 years in the making. I probably found this close to 2 years ago. Maybe not exactly 2 years, but close to 2 years ago, I found this magazine online and purchased it. And it just kind of goes to show you that, I don't know, there's a lot of like, this thing would have been lost to time. And I find that a little bit annoying because it wasn't lost to time. It wasn't an unknown. This is not an unknown recipe. It might be unknown to you and to me and everyone else watching this video, but somebody knew about it. I mean, Trader Vic put it together. Anyone who had this magazine, if they flipped to that page, they would have seen it. Sometimes these things are just sitting out there, and in the world of the internet and online archives, so far, like magazines have not all been digitized and had all of their text scanned to where we can just type in, Trader Vic and rum and find something. So sometimes it's the happy accidents here that happen, which is I wasn't even looking for this recipe. I was looking for, pictures of a bottle of rum randomly. And then I happened to find something I've been looking for forever, which is a picture of this orgeat. And then that happened to just be in the same place as this recipe. So this is not lost to time. Someone else would have found this eventually. And then one day, if all these magazines, these, thousands of magazine titles and hundreds of thousands of editions, if they all get digitized and searchable and through AI, we'll probably find even more of these missing tropical and tiki cocktails. The wine is not an unusual thing either. Trader Vic used sherries and used wine in his drinks, especially his punches. He was really into rum, but he was also really into wine. And the only place I've ever heard his voice is a talk he did at a country club in Pleasanton, California. I would guess, it's been a long time since I listened to that, but it's got to be in the late 60s or 70s. And the whole talk, it's not about rum, it's not about tropical drinks, it's not about tiki, it's about wine. And that's where, if you've watched a few of these Trader Vic videos, sometimes I pull a little snippet which says follow your recipes. He's basically saying in cooking, cocktails, whatever it is, you have to make sure you follow your recipes.
Follow your recipes.
And in this case, I didn't follow my recipe. I changed it because I didn't need 6 months worth of punch. So if you're out there and you actually tried this punch as is, as in the description and from House and Garden magazine, let me know. I want to see how it goes. I'll leave the process there too, because the process is to take everything but your booze and put it in a big punch bowl and and mix it overnight, and then put it in your fridge or chill it down. So it would be an interesting thing for one of you to take on for a large party, and really cool because I didn't make that today. I made this, and there probably hasn't been anyone since the 1960s who has taken on the Pacifica Punch from Trader Vic. So there you go, folks, an unknown Trader Vic cocktail, a punch actually, the Pacifica Punch, which he was somehow commissioned to make through House and Garden magazine. He had a bunch of connections to these magazines, so you'll find him often show up in these places, sort of bringing more notoriety to Trader Vic. And this one I thought was interesting because it, to my knowledge, is different than the other recipes. It's not just like a simple swap of, rock candy syrup for orgeat, and then we move on. There's different things going on here with the tropical flavors and the passion fruit, the banana, the brown sugar, and the white wine. And I found this to be delicious. And if you make this and you find it's a little bit too sweet, knock down the sweetness, bump up the amount of rum, do an ounce of rum each, or just slightly change things to make it match what you like. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like below, consider subscribing to this channel. And if you want to support this channel more, go check out my Patreon page. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.
Eternal spring of your splendor and your charm. When the dusk is falling and the sunset glows.